Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, and Southwest Suffolk County on Long Island. And they are Long Island's largest rock salt source. They also have all the great snow and ice melt products like Mag and Pelido. And, of course, should that day ever come when you need a snowblower, well, they have them because we haven't had any winter storms. Especially eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England hasn't seen much so far this winter. And of course, storms can also knock your power out, so you want to make sure you're all set up for that. 631-756-1125, the phone number. Best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. I'm going to put myself down in the lower right here so you get a good solid view of the satellite loop. And we had to deal with clouds this morning and this afternoon. There's still a little bit of cloud cover along the coast, but there are some breaks showing up in some places, and it's a bit sunnier as you get into Pennsylvania and parts of the middle and upper Hudson Valley. Still have that old cold front just kind of sitting here offshore, and you see the showers and thunderstorms with the lightning strikes that are going on out over the ocean. In the meantime, on the upper left is the storm that has battered California with more heavy rain. It's still going on there, though the storm itself, the actual center of the storm, is now moving northward, parallel to the Oregon and Washington coastline. They still have some more work to do as far as rain is concerned there. You can see how loaded the radar is, especially up in Northern California around San Francisco, and even down near L.A. Just had some heavy rains move through, and heavy snows up in the mountains. Over the Great Lakes, we've got some snow showers with an upper trough that's moving eastward. We're going to see a little bit of that probably tonight. Not the snow showers so much, but maybe some rain showers late tonight into the first half of Friday. Much of the Northeast is pretty quiet. A couple of sprinkles showing up in Southeast PA down to the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area. The Southeast is looking good, really. In fact, there's quite a bit of sunshine over much of the Southeast, except right near the immediate coast of North Carolina, some leftover clouds that you see there in South Carolina. As far as rain is concerned over the next 7 days, it's pretty much wash, rinse, repeat on the West Coast. It's been like this forecast for 10 inches plus, and we've seen it for the past week, which means they've already had a week of 10 inches plus. They're going to have another week of 10 inches plus. The rains have been utterly ridiculous, especially in California and, of course, in the Sierra Nevadas. We've had places that have gotten over 100 inches of snow so far, and they're liable to get some more. Meanwhile, in the east, with weak weather systems over the next 7 days, and this takes us, by the way, until through next Thursday morning, rainfall amounts, liquid precip amounts, are going to be on the order of a tenth to at most a quarter of an inch, and in some places from Virginia on southward into Georgia, in some places it's going to be just maybe a few hundredths over the next 7 days. A little concentration of 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half in the western Gulf states and extending northeastward up into Mississippi and parts of northwestern Alabama. Snow, well, the probability of at least 2 for central and northern Maine, northern New Hampshire, northern Vermont, 50% or higher in the lighter blue areas that you see, and in that pink area in northern Maine, it's an 80% probability of at least 2. And as we move out into the west, it just goes on, especially in California and also in parts of Utah and western Colorado, relatively high probabilities of at least 2. And in the long range, at least in the eastern part of the United States, and this is the probability of, let's call it at least 2 or 3 inches, starting from Sunday morning and taking us right through Wednesday into Thursday morning, except for a small area up in Maine, Wednesday into Thursday, where there's a 10 to 30% chance of at least 2, and maybe a small portion of northern New Hampshire. The entire eastern half of the United States, not a flake, not an ice pellet, nothing. So I'm going to take you through the weak weather systems that we're going to be dealing with. We're going to use the NAM model, and overnight You see some showers getting generated across New Jersey and the Hudson Valley. This is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Very small area, a little snow in northwest PA, southwest New York. And then during the day tomorrow, we'll probably see some rain. And maybe there could be some wet snowflakes mixing in, especially in elevated areas up the Hudson Valley, up the to the Berkshires, and in through Massachusetts, west of Boston. So just say from Worcester on westward to Springfield, perhaps maybe some wet snow mixing in. I don't think this really amounts to much, if anything at all, as far as accumulations are concerned, because temperatures are going to be pretty much in the upper 30s to low and middle 40s. So they're not going to get much. You're not going to get accumulations with that. And then as that pulls out, I think Saturday should be okay. It'll be a step down and cooler. We'll be in the lower 40s, and I think the same for Sunday, which right now is looking pretty good. And I'm going to switch over to the GFS model so we can take you a little bit longer range. And there is another weak weather system here. This one is a low that's coming out of Kansas and moves eastward and just sort of weekends. I don't know how much of this precip is actually going to hold together. This model has been overdoing it lately with regards to precipitation. So maybe there could be some rain or snow showers later Sunday night into early Monday morning. Then that low goes out. We dry out. There's no real cold air anywhere, so temperatures are going to still be running a little bit above average to start next week. Another low is going to try to come out of the northeastern Gulf. And that is going to go straight east and out. And now we're into Thursday of next week. A more important system may come at the end of next week. But again, there's no real cold air around that we can see. So for the time being, it's a snow drought, and it's going to stay a snow drought for quite a while. I don't really see anything much in the upper air pattern that suggests anything is going to change in the next 10 days at least. So I know for snow lovers, it's pretty depressing. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the phone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. So I'm going to give you the western satellite loop so you can see right up in the upper center, the little curl there is what's left of this storm center that continues to bring rains to the west. And you could also see two other systems behind that one moving eastward. So that's on their way. They're on their way to the west coast where the rain just doesn't stop. And we'll talk about that, and we will talk about the weekend and the long range tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. So we hope to see you then.